All right, so here on the channel, we are tracking the best traders in crypto and the biggest influencers in crypto because, I mean, just by definition on best traders, they have the best track records of returns on their investments and they're publicly recommending these things. So we want to know which of the influencers and which of the traders are the best so we can literally just copy trade them and get the same results for ourselves. Here's an overview of some of the people that we are currently tracking inside the inner circle, but also here transparently on YouTube. And not only do we track the actual influencer, but we keep tabs on who has the best track record. And at the moment, it's Crypto God John. He's had a 360x call on Chainlink, if you copy traded that one, 170x on Polygon. But recently, this is a new name, a guy who I've been familiar with. He's getting billions of views a year out on short form content, but I haven't really dived into. We don't currently track him, but we may in the future, depending on how much you guys want to track him as well. I noticed that he said he'd profited 8 figures in the last bull market, and one of his best calls was a 250x, which would put him in second place on the overall best calls for people we track. And the fact that Luke Belmar thinks that we are on the eve of a bull market, the biggest bull market, the supercycle that we've ever seen, at least in terms of the amount of money in there, maybe not in terms of ROIs, if you're looking at Bitcoin at 1 cent. He says, Bitcoin is still below all-time highs. You're still early. This was in September of 2024, this year. Continue working hard and stacking your crypto bags. This will be a violent bull run. So I'm like, cool, he's got a great track record. He's pro bull run. What tokens does he hold, and should we be copy trading him? And so I came to his Twitter and I could see that he actually had a document outlining his exact portfolio, the 2024 HODL and partners list, meaning the partnerships, the things that he's actually affiliated with and getting paid from, and also the ones that he bought into, the ones that he's writing up to have this violent bull market make him a lot of money. He also says this, which is a strong flex. I'm not perfect, but I rarely miss, especially with crypto. So he's very confident in his prediction ability. He also said he made $5.2 million with an ICO, and his worst day ever was a loss of a $36 million flash loan on a crypto called Pancake Bunny, which apparently was a fork of Pancake Swap. Not only is he just a holder, but he's also a day trader. He's not someone who just buys and holds crypto until retail comes and then sells, but he also day trades. And he says here, all the trades on his 5K to 100K trading challenge are recorded. He turned 5K, I believe it got up to about $170,000 before he turned it out. And he says they're all transparently recorded. So he knows technical analysis as well as which tokens are good. And so before I jump into this sheet with you where he outlines his exact portfolio, and we'll go through them and give you my personal perspective on them, it's important to know that he has a lot of big cap cryptos, things with large market caps into the billions, which is not my personal favorite way to trade, or the best trades that I've ever made are when I find them about 10 to $30 million market cap, like Casper that had a nice 80 to 90x already for us now, which I think I found at about a $20 million market cap because it doesn't need as much liquidity and as much volume in that in order to get a 10x or 100x. But this tweet, before we jump into the big caps, basically explains that, and it made me feel a little bit better about it. He says, the total value of crypto AI ecosystem is smaller than the Dogecoin market cap, which Dogecoin is the biggest meme coin out there. One simple meme coin with very little, kind of contentious to say, apart from hope and community and love and feeling like you're part of a big mission and the people's coin, all that awesome utility that it does provide. It doesn't really have anything under it. It could disappear, obviously, in a day because there's nothing substantial. There's no revenues. There's no incomes that are providing the lift for it to be sitting at a $16 billion market cap. But this is what he's saying with his AI tokens and all the other tokens he's holding, which do have $1 to $3 billion market caps. All of them put together are still smaller than Doge, and Doge is a meme coin. So he thinks that these are going to obviously go way bigger than Doge, way bigger than a 15x if they're at a 1 billion market cap. So let's get into it. I'll briefly read you what he wrote, all the important parts, and then I'll talk to you about the actual cryptos. So he says the active investments and advisory for 2024. Good to know that it's actually up to date and it's this year. This list encompasses various initiatives, teams, crypto assets, and stocks he's engaged with. It sort of feels like ChatGPT, so we're going to skip over this. He says in 2023, he garnered over 1.35 billion views across his social media platforms. And even though my reach is vast, I am not for sale, nor are my social media platforms billboards or paid shills. I mean, 1.3 billion views is massive. He says, when he decides to make a large investment, like in one of these tokens, I tap into my extensive experience in content marketing and distribution to advise the team, helping make sure my investments perform. Meaning, I guess he does actually put his own money up, but I think he's going to take additional tokens from the team for being an advisory role, and also having the ability to reach 1.35 million eyeballs a year is massive. Because right here, he says, across my social media, I talk about stocks and crypto that I buy and support. This means I regularly invest in and help out with projects too. Basically, he's going to be promoting them on his social media, but he's also, all this is a big spiel to say that he truly believes in them. It's not just a partnership deal, and he's also bought into a lot of these tokens. Now, he also has, getting to the actual portfolio down here, stocks written at the top. So he's got Walmart, PayPal, and the Bitcoin ETF, which has to be some form of deal, I feel like, because I'm not sure why he would hold the ETF over holding actual Bitcoin, especially I believe that's like a 1% or a certain percentage tax yearly on that, when he could just obviously buy Bitcoin and self-custody it. He's got Meta, obviously Facebook, Robinhood, the stock buying app that most people are using. MicroStrategy is an interesting one. It sort of is a little bit of leverage on top of Bitcoin. This is honestly one of my favorite topics to study and talk about, but every time I make a video on it, no one absolutely cares that this guy, Michael Saylor, has found an infinite money glitch, where he basically prints more stock, buys more Bitcoin, his stock price goes up again, so he buys more Bitcoin with it, and it's just a virtuous cycle where he's just making as much money. He's crossed into the Fortune 500 companies, the top 500 companies in the world with it, and people are believing that he's going to go to number one. And so obviously Luke Belmar thinks that as well. Maybe not quite to number one, but maybe a top 20, top 25 company in the world. This is the stock ticker for that. And Microsoft, which is an interesting one. But then down here, he has his tokens, the crypto tokens that we're here for, the ones that we're looking for. So let's go through them one by one, investigate them. And I'm just going to give you my feedback on what my perspective is on them. So we can get rid of the big ones like Solana. Cool. It's a massive layer one. It's like the fourth biggest crypto in the world. Cool. Avalanche as well. It's got to be a top 12 crypto, a huge layer one. He's just betting on crypto in general when he's talking about those tokens. Jupiter is one of the biggest decentralized exchanges on Solana. We can actually have a look at Jupiter. We can pull that one up. It's at a $7.5 billion fully diluted value, which is large, especially coming out of a bear market. But he's not the first guy to recommend Jupiter. There's a lot of people. I went to a crypto conference recently, and everyone was recommending, I've got a secret for you. It's called Jupiter. It's called Jupiter. It's called Jupiter. And yeah, it's not really a secret. It's at $7.5 billion. This could obviously get to 70 billion, 110 billion as the bull market comes, but a lot of these bigger tokens, in my perspective, is literally just betting on the bull market, because everything's going to lift with that. And depending on the market cap of each token, it depends how much it's going to lift. Monad don't have a token yet. Injective is an interesting one. I believe it's a finance-centric layer one token. It's been around since the 2021 cycle. It is at a $2 billion market cap, but it's had a nice boost at the end of last year in October, going from a $5.90 to almost a nice 10x up to almost $50 there. And it's pulled back a little bit over this year and held pretty strong. But again, it's still already at a $2 billion market cap. Core is similar. If we pull this bad boy up here, it's at a $2 billion market cap, fully diluted. It launched in 2023. Huge downward spiral down to 52 cents. Had a massive pop up there, and then has pulled back over this year. It's very similar to Injective there, both at the $2 billion level. And these aren't my personal favorite tokens. There's a couple in here which are smaller market cap and higher upside, because let's be honest too. If we're copy trading the biggest influencers in the world, someone like Luke Belmar, and we want him to mention it on his Twitter so that all of the people who are late, all the retail, he puts out a TikTok, it gets 7 million views, and all those people are jumping to this token, it's not going to move the token if it's already at 2 billion as much as if it was at a $20 million market cap. That thing will 10x, 50x, 100x just from one or two shoutouts in peak bull market. So that's what I personally look for. But if you're wanting to diversify and you believe that there's going to be another $2-3 trillion added to crypto in general in this super cycle, you might as well just buy the top layer ones as well and get a nice 3 to 5x on those. Wolf is an interesting one. Let's talk about Wolf, because this is one of the lower ones that I was talking about. I'm 90% sure he's talking about Landwolf, which is at a $62 million market cap, and it is a meme coin. Now, he tweets a lot about how he's very bullish on meme coins, and he's actually, make sure you hit that subscribe button, he's has a Q4 meme list loading. So when he puts that out, we'll be going through it inside our paid group in our inner circle, link in the description if you're interested in joining that. And then we'll also cover it here on the YouTube channel for you, because he's very bullish on memes. And he says, if you're not trading memes, you're going to miss out on a lot of the returns in this super cycle. So it's at a $63 million market cap. It's been out since earlier this year, 2024. And let's, if we sort by market cap, it doesn't track it down there, but it did reach, we're just going to call it 11 cents. We're going to ignore those decimals. And it's about half that at the moment. It had a couple of big volatile pullbacks, but a very recent run up. What is Landwolf? Well, it's a meme coin. What is the actual character? They say that he is Pepe's most degenerate friend. And Pepe is obviously, I believe, at like a 7 billion or it could have been an all-time high to 7 billion, but about $2 to $3 billion market cap. And they're basically just putting him into like the Marvel ecosystem, where it's like, oh, this is Wolf, this is Pepe's friend, and they're introducing a new character, and they've done well. Obviously, they're at a $62 million market cap. This is one that I'd be more intrigued by, because I believe Luke Belmar can pump the price of this very quickly. I believe he could get that over $150 million market cap with just a couple of tweets or a couple of TikToks that he puts out. Coming back, we've got BitTensor. So let's go through a couple of these big AI ones. BitTensor and FET, specifically the graph, they're all AI infrastructure, which, as he said, remember, all of AI's tokens put together is smaller than the Dogecoin. I can't believe I keep saying the Dogecoin token. The Doge code. Okay, well, you know what I'm referencing, at a 16 bill. And so he's got a few of these which are in the billions. BitTensor, this is a $12 billion market cap, so I don't know if he's factoring this one in. Node AI is a smaller one. The graph is quite a big one at a $2 billion market cap. These are all AI infrastructure, which are the blue chip stocks inside of AI. They've had massive pullbacks from their all-time high runs. And the rumor is Luke Belmar's a big believer in it. I know Crypto God John and everyone else thinks that AI is going to be parabolic. We're yet to see the real parabolic run, where people are predicting things like the graph are going to hit $2, $3, which I also do believe that it's going to happen. But those big ones are already into the billions of dollars of market caps, and they are those blue chips, which he's just betting on the niche of AI. It's like buying the Solana and the AVAX for crypto. You're betting on crypto. If you're buying these big ones inside of AI, you're just betting on the AI niche. Now, there is an interesting one in here, Node AI, because we track Alex Becker, because we track Crypto God John. They're big believers in GPU. And this one, as you can see, only has a $54 million market cap, which, again, is way more intriguing to me personally. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but the way I like to trade is to have influencers. I know that Becker is behind this. Now I know that Luke Belmar is behind this token, not behind it running the show, but they're advisors, and they will promote it when the market turns bullish. And this could do extremely well. It's had a strong pullback from its all-time high up at $2.20 all the way back to 54 cents. So it's a long way down from the top. Let's see if it does the market cap. It does. It was already at a $250-ish million market cap, $230-ish million market cap, and it's pulled back to a 50 mil, which makes it very intriguing, especially knowing that Luke Belmar is bullish on Node AI, or probably an advisor for Node AI. Of course, he's got Ethereum, which is above in Solana and Avalanche in the size of it. The graph we've been through. Telegram TON is an interesting one, because that performed extremely well. That's actually the 10th biggest cryptocurrency. And if we can pull up the graph, I've got it for you right here, all time. It's been performing extremely well this year. You can see the year started December, January here. It started at about $1.40, and it's up to $5.20 just this year. Peaked at about $7.60. This was the official Telegram token, the app Telegram. And then obviously they've separated it from that, and it's become its own entity, but it's basically like the dark web style revolution against fiat, against censorship. And it's the decentralized anonymous sort of vibe token that has skyrocketed to the number 10 token overall, and it has a $26 billion fully diluted market cap. And then you've got Doge, Pepe, and Brett. Let's talk about Brett. So Pepe, I believe, is at about a $2 or $3 billion market cap, which is one of the blue chips of the meme. So again, he's betting on memes. Doge, as we've talked about, the Doge is the biggest meme coin currently out there. And Brett is the meme coin that another guy that we track, Crashes Clay, who has the best track record when it comes to memes. He's turned 15 grand into 15 million, and he's trying to turn that into 150 million by the end of the super cycle, which is just insanely impressive. And he's extremely bullish on Brett, because Brett is on the base chain. And the base chain is basically relying on the US government, and they're abiding by every single law, and they're making sure that it's from Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase, and they're not currently allowed to have their own token. And so what's happened is Brett has basically been adopted as the layer 1 sort of token on the Base chain, because if someone wants to bet on Base, which it's a good bet to make, Coinbase are onboarding millions of users and tens or hundreds of millions of users when the bull market is absolutely pumping. A lot of people use the Coinbase app ranking inside the App Store as when the retail money's here. If it's at number 1 in the whole App Store, okay, retail is here. They're flooding in. They flood in through the on-ramp like Coinbase, and guess what happens? They can buy Brett right there on Coinbase. So this is a very interesting one. This is one that I hold a little bit of as well. I'm a big fan of Brett, especially over something like Pepe, but again, I'm not the best meme coin trader. This is why I track the best traders, so I don't have to make these personal decisions and be clouded, because even Luke Belmar says if you haven't done 2 crypto cycles, I would classify myself as doing 1.5, you really are at a disadvantage because you don't know what's going to run and what's not. So let's just give it to the experts and just track their wallets, track their socials, and see what they're trading so we can copy trade that and get the same results. If they lose a lot of money, so do we. If they gain a lot of money, so do we. He's got KuCoin as well, which is a big exchange, a centralized exchange at a $1.3 billion market cap. Quite like this one, you know, KuCoin has revenues. They will be making millions, if not potentially $1 billion a year on this sort of the trading fees and the revenues and the running a centralized exchange is a very profitable business. I don't know what the revenue share sort of looks like, but at least it's not vaporware. It's not backed by nothing. It's at a $1.3 billion fully diluted market cap. Now, I had skipped Litecoin because this seems like a joke. Unless he's been holding this for so long, or he's been paid the big bucks to sort of pretend to like them. This is a really old coin with very little going for it, in my personal opinion. And I would stay far away from it. The last interesting one that I want to talk to you about is NPC, because I hadn't heard of NPC before we talked about it. It's called I think I came across it once. Like, I've heard the name, but I had no idea what it was doing, what it's for. It's called non-playable coin. NPC is obviously a play on the non-playable character sort of reference that's big in the Luke Belmar sort of circles, where it's just like the normies, the mainstream. A meme for every person on Earth. The first meme coin NFT hybrid on Ethereum, Solana, and Base. Support the current coin as the Telegram group there. So basically, it's a meme that just makes fun of the normies, but they're doing extremely well. Have a look at this. They're almost at an all-time high here at a $239 million market cap, which is solid for a meme. That's got to be really ranked up in the top, I don't know, 30 to 50 meme coins. And Luke Belmar is a big fan. Always got a decent size allocation in response for promoting it on his socials. We wrote a big write-up being like, this is not why I do it. It's essentially exactly why it does. Otherwise, you have to have so much of a write-up saying this is not why we promote tokens. But that's a very interesting portfolio. So the last thing on his portfolio that I also want to talk about, and I believe it's true for almost everybody we track, because inside the inner circle at the moment, we're literally going through their individual portfolios so that we can adjust our portfolios to match whatever we think is going to do best based on what the best traders and biggest influencers are holding. However, my theory is that what we're currently holding, what Luke Belmar is currently holding, won't give him the most returns. My theory is what happened last bull market is things start to run. Bitcoin crosses an all-time high. Things get euphoric. Things go parabolic. You might hit a 3 to 5x on your current portfolio, but then the new tokens that are launching, once everyone forgets what it's like to lose money, they're the ones that do the 100x's. And so that's why we have a software that literally tracks these people's wallets. We have blockchain detectives going out, reverse engineering the social profiles of these people, finding their wallets, and we have a wallet tracker where you'll get an alert when they buy or sell, or even with integrated social alerts when they tweet about a new project. Because in peak euphoria, guys, that's when these things launch literally into the billions of dollars in market cap in less than a week. And that's where the 100x returns, I feel, really are going to be hidden. So if you want that, join our inner circle. The software is available to everyone in there. The link is in the description below. If you don't want that advantage in this upcoming bull market, sure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.